Forgiveness is one of the most interesting topics and most common topics when we talk about healing, because the relationship to our parents is one of the most transformative ones we can have during a lifetime. And from my own journey with my parents, I can say that the moment you know you have really forgiven, not forgetting, but forgiven, you feel liberated. You feel free in a way of having that peace in your heart you never had before. Because you realize that either with your parents or without them, with their permission, with their emotional connection, or without them, you are worthy and you are whole. It doesn't dismiss the fact that if you are feeling and desiring a closer connection, desiring to be seen and heard and felt, to be respected, that is beautiful. That is human connection. That is something you crave, that is so natural. But either way you get it or not, you are worthy. You're still whole. And for my journey, I came to a point where I had to let go of them, where I had to grieve, where I had to grieve my living parents. I had to let go of the idea how it should be, also related from environment, from TV, from shows, from movies, from the way it should be, to this is how it is right now. I'm no longer fighting it. This is how it is, and I'm letting this happen. I'm not looking away. I'm not fighting it. I'm looking at it as it is. And this is the connection we have. And it doesn't mean it can change. It doesn't mean maybe in a few years it's closer, it's more connected. I'm leaving that, really, I'm leaving that to God. Because one thing I know is, and that is so deep in my heart, as long as I'm breathing, God is loving me and God has a plan. And God wants me to be here on this earth. Even if a part of me is really craving a closer connection to my earthly parents, which is beautiful, which is also something many, many, many people before me have craved in my lineage. And maybe this is a time to change it, to work on this relationship with our parents, to change it. To forgive also doesn't mean you ignore what happened. You release it, you feel it, and you grieve it. I was in a time where I really had to grieve. And it was so bizarre because there was this part of me that said, why are you grieving your living parents? That is so weird. So a part of me was judging that. Why you kind of ungrateful, like you still have parents. You should have a relationship with them, like a closer one. Like you should just be grateful. And then I realized both things are possible. I can be grateful and still wanting to have a closer relationship, to be seen and felt emotionally. In this video before this one, I talked about the immature behavior and how to process this, how to realize it, how to let go. And after that, if you process, if you work through, forgiveness can come. And forgiveness, be aware. Remember, forgiveness is not a one-time job. Till now, I have not seen anyone that said, yeah, I've forgiven once and the topic was over. For me, it came in wave. For me, the intensity came, but it got less and less and less and less. And that is the releasing process. That is the things we have to see and forgive. And I am always coming back to myself and I'm saying, you know what? Either way, with a close relationship or with a distant relationship, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be exactly right where I am right now. And it's okay. Like, I want peace. I'm choosing peace over holding on onto resentment. I'm holding on onto they did this, they did that. No. I came to my self-worth. And when you come back to your self-worth, you ask the question, what would I need to let this go and in be peace? What would I need to let go of that resentment, that anger, that frustration, and come to my own peace? You are the medicine. You are the healer that is giving you permission to feel all of that with no attachment to the outcome or to what you think it should be. The first step in forgiveness is giving you that unconditional, loving space to fully feel and grieve and let go. And that's what Albert and I are doing. We are creating that space all the time. We are creating that space, first of all, within us, and then together as a team. That is the room we are holding. We are giving the space to finally release things like that, to forgive. Your mental health, your emotional health, it's not worth holding on. It takes so much more energy to hold on to that pain, to hold on to resentment, than to release it. After releasing, you are so free. And not from an ego perspective, not bypassing it, but from your spirit, from your soul. Awakening up also means to be conscious about the things you're still holding on. The shame, the blame, the criticizing, first to yourself and then to others. Because when you forgive, there is this space within you where you can just let it be, where you can just be okay with who they are, how they behave, what they're doing, what they're not doing, because the peace and the forgiveness is within you. You are the haven of peace. You become the place of connection. You become the place of vulnerability, of authenticity. And if you allow yourself to forgive and to be free of that connection in a hurtful way, because that was not truthful, you become whole. And maybe that was the first thing why all of that happened. So you can be more connected to yourself. So for me, forgiveness is not a one-time job. It is a process. It comes in waves. And it has to be done very truthfully. And forgiveness really looks like talking to yourself in a nice way. Realizing, oh, okay, I choose myself, I choose my peace over that drama. I want to be a good person. I want to be a loving person. I want to be here. I want to feel that, to experience life in a good way, in a loving way. And forgiveness is part of that. So remember, this is the add-on, how you truly forgive, how you really let this go. For me, it happened through letters, through talking to my parents, to also allowing myself space, to also be very clear about how do I want a relationship to look like? Because I'm allowed to influence that relationship. I'm allowed to have my own personal opinion and needs. And maybe that was something I could not articulate when I was so young. It was not my standard. But now I'm taking my energy back, my power, my space, my choices, and I can influence my relationship. And it starts with forgiving those that hurt us the most. Yes. So that was a little add-on from the last video. I wish you a beautiful day, and I love to see you again next time. Stay with me on this channel and make sure you click subscribe. So if this video resonated with you on your journey, I'm so happy. Be excited, and I see you on the next video.